Hi there, good afternoon. This is Sicily, largest island in the Mediterranean Sea. My first time here to Sicily, even though I have explored other parts of Italy. Glad to be here in late September. The weather is very variable. There was a lot of rain yesterday. You can see cloudy skies. It has been rain here and there in the course of my drive coming from where I am staying, Castellamare del Golfo, which is west of Palermo, which I flew into a few days ago. And so I have the next few days to explore amazing Sicily. As I mentioned in a previous video, I am taking a little bit of a break from filming all day and making daily videos. So I'm not exactly sure what this video is going to be as far as just what I filmed today, or maybe over the next couple of days or something. We shall see. But today I am headed to the Valley of the Temples. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I've driven about an hour. It is another hour or so's drive to get there, hoping for nice, at least non-rainy weather, because it is going to be a really amazing experience and historical journey, seeing these ancient Greek temples, and I think probably also Roman, probably various phases of history. We shall see and learn more once we get there. So I have a rental car up there, 85 euros per day, about $90 US. And so far I am loving it. It is what I expected. It just has that very different feeling as compared to other parts of Italy. Sicily just has a very different energy, feeling, very kind of wild and rugged, sparsely populated. I've only gone through one town in the course of the past hour of driving. So let's hit the road and get cruising to Valley of the Temples. So I'm now at the Valley of the Temples, which is kind of misnamed because, as you can see, the temple is on a mountaintop. This is the Temple of Juno. There is a whole series of ancient temples here from the ancient Greek period around 500 BC. So I wanted to kind of put things in context here as far as another experience of mine 3 years ago in Turkey. Some of you might remember I was at ancient Roman ruins, an amphitheater in southern Turkey, and a local guy offered to sell me this coin that was about like this big, dark brown, had inscriptions on it, this image, a person on a chariot, and Greek writing on it. He was offering to sell it to me for $20. I decided to buy it, having no idea if it was real or fake, probably fake, but I just liked it. And so I bought the coin, and then in the course of doing research to try to figure out what it was, I figured out indeed it was a fake, but it was a fake replica of a real Greek coin called a Syracusan decadrachma. The old Greek currency was the drachma. Deca means 10, so a 10 drachma coin, Syracusan. So Syracuse was on the island of Sicily here, and it was part of the same civilization as the people that built these temples here, 500 BC, 400 BC, etc., around that time period, and then coming forwards from there, all kinds of history. But point being, then Sicily, this area was Greek. Before the Romans took over basically everything, then much of the everything was Greek. And then, of course, the empire shifted around considerably, and the Romans dominated the entirety of the Mediterranean. And so, of course, Sicily became Roman, and now, of course, Italy. But the civilization here long ago was Greek, and that is what you're looking at here. So this archaeological park is a series of temples, and apparently it is the largest archaeological park in all of Europe. And I had never heard of it before. Even once I arrived in Sicily, it was only after I posted my first video of Sicily that somebody remarked, you have to go to the Valley of the Temples, and they were certainly right. So this is a 2-hour drive from where I'm staying, the room that I showed at the beginning, Castellamare del Golfo, which is on the northwestern corner of Sicily. Sicily is shaped like a triangle, and so we are now on the southern coast, the sea, just a few miles away out there.
Sorry to obsess you with me.
And out there, you can see the next one. So it is a 5-kilometer walk, the entire length of the archaeological park, and then you see various temples along the way. Gate number 3. We are now close to the southeast gate of the Greek city. There are few visible remains of Gate 3. The original construction, 6th century BC, has been damaged by a landslide involving part of the ridge and affected by numerous alterations conducted for various reasons. On the left, at the bottom of the rock face, beneath the Temple of Juno that we just saw, squared limestone blocks. So what I want to show here is further ahead at a lower level, there are wheel ruts that signal the presence of the ancient Greek road that passed through Gate 3. So when I was in Malta, we saw the cart ruts. So same idea, carts passing over stone over time will create ruts that all of the other carts will go through as well and deepen them. And it looks like this is it. Check it out. They're quite wide. These look almost more intentionally carved out. They're much more uniform than the ones that we saw in Malta.
Yes, please.
And ahead is the Temple of Concordia, built in 450 BC. Considered one of the crowning achievements of Greek civilization. You can see it certainly rivals the Parthenon in Athens. Look at that view. Looking south across the Mediterranean, Malta is out there, North Africa, and that is it. There is not much in this part of the Mediterranean. So I'm not sure what this is or when it was built. It seems to be something modern. There are no signs explaining. So some more information here. The Temple of Concordia owes its name to a Latin inscription with a dedication to the harmony of the people of Agricento found in its vicinity, albeit not associated to it. The building in calcarenite blocks is in Doric style 440 to 430 BC and is founded on a base with 4 steps. It has 6 columns at the front and back. You can see 6 columns there and 13 along the sides. According to the tradition, around the end of the 6th century AD, the bishop Gregorius took seat in the temple and consecrated it to the saints Peter and Paul. So it was turned into a church. Look at these goats. Those horns are crazy.
But just maybe they are 40 days. After 40 days, the goat starts getting tough, dry. It needs to be cooked for longer than 6 hours.
And there is the modern city of Agricento. And look at this. We have a bunch of fossils. Amazing. Apparently, the sea, as you can see there, was once this high. Long, long ago. So, not sure how well this is coming through on video, but we have a rainbow. Look at that. What an image, perfect placement. Incredible. And lots more of the fossils. I have never seen fossils like this before, like so many of them in the same place. And here we have a necropoli PaleoChristiana, PaleoChristian Necropolis. The PaleoChristian Necropolis extends over the Collina dei Templi, Hill of Temples, between the Temple of Juno and the Temple of Heracles. This large cemeterial area was used between the 3rd and 6th centuries AD and was articulated into different sectors. An area with burials cut into the walls of the Greek fortifications, a large open cemetery area, a large communal catacomb, a relief from the end of the 8th or the beginning of the 9th centuries AD. This find confirms that Christians were present in the valley until the Arab conquest. Here we go. So I guess this is the open cemetery area. Ah, too bad. It's gated off, unfortunately. I thought we were going to be able to walk inside there, but we'll get a view of it at least. And here, looks like maybe it is open sometimes. They have walkways going inside. And look at these. These are no ordinary cart ruts, so I'm not sure what the story is with these. They are so deep and very uniform, looking carved out as opposed to just occurring over time, so I'm not really sure, but these are very impressive. And then it makes a nice kind of perfect curve shape. And then here we have the Temple of Heracles. 6th century BC. So Heracles is the Greek god that corresponds with Hercules in Roman mythology. So same god. And so these temples were all covered in like a white plaster or something like that. So they didn't look like this back then. They would have been gleaming white, you know, perfect. At least in the beginning. To see that site of this city, these temples, shortly after construction and the ceremonies being performed, the crowds and everything, man, that would be such an eye-opening experience to be able to peer back into the past and see what it was really like. Here we go, one of the columns. And here we have the remains of the Temple of Zeus Olympus. So it must have been an immensely stunning temple. Just looking at the size of those blocks there. Look at this, you can see the grooves that I guess would have connected these blocks together, perhaps. Maybe the bottom is the opposite of that.